Yes, sound good. We're golden. Hi, welcome to season 2 of Designhander, where I, Amber, am going to be designing and putting together the Flames of Freedom character sheet. So, last season was a little bit long because there was a lot of redesigning that I ended up doing for the Zweihander character sheet. Um, but for this season, we might be a little shorter because I have like three leg ups, kind of, three head starts. I don't know. What do you want to. Anyway, I've got some advantages coming into designing this. One being that I did do the Zweihander redesign of the character sheet. And then the second is that Daniel watched that series and learned a lot about the kinds of hangups I was having trying to put together the character sheet, and then also was learning about kind of the flow that was going through doing character sheet or character creation using the character sheet. And he applied a lot of the learnings found in that season to the Flames of Freedom character creation. And then also, I did the layout for the quick start of Flames of Freedom and actually got to put together the pre-gen character sheets already. So I actually have a pretty good head start on putting all of this together, which is really nice. I'm thinking an hour for this session and maybe another 1 to 2. We'll see what happens. But today, what I'm going to do, if you're familiar with the first season or if you're new, what I do when I sit down to start making a character sheet is I go through the character creation process, because that is really going to inform a lot of your design. So the first introduction to creating a character can help build that good framework to begin with. The other side you have to think about too is long-term use. So there's two kinds of forms of use, like out-of-box experience, putting your character together, and then also in play. So when we design a character sheet, you design it out of box first, and then we try it out in game, and then we make tweaks based off of how we see players actually using the sheet. So I'm going to do the out of box. I know Zweihander character creation a little bit. I've only created 2 characters using Zweihander. But I don't know anything about Flames of Freedom character creation, even though I put the pre-gens together. They were pre-generated, so I didn't have to actually make them. So anyway, let's go into sharing my screen. Daniel gave me access to a playtest document that had a chapter on creating characters, and so I have that up right now. And I also have up the quick start, which I have already gutted. So the quick start's been gutted. Just wanted to have nice artwork up for us to look at while I look at character creation stuff. And I'm going to go to work. So let's just get into creating characters. So first and foremost, I haven't really looked at this document yet, so I might miss things. I'm going in this as a person looking at this for the first time. I may miss things, but this is what people do, right? First thing I did when I'm looking at this right now is I saw this. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which, 8 steps, and I love me a good numbered list. Saw that, okay, that's not daunting, that's not scary, but I should probably look at what I would need. Okay, cool, 3-sided dice, pencil, and a character sheet found in the back of the book, which I do not have. So Daniel requested me to not look at the playtest character sheet and just see what happens if I do it without having any sort of framework. So that's what we're gonna do. Cool. So creating your character. Following these steps, you'll create a Mad Lib persona at the top of the character sheet. This provides a way to rattle off your character's background to others at the game table. I really like that. That's something that's in Zweihander already. I think it's really fun to read that out loud to the group. So step 1, starting allegiance and influence points. Step 2, basic tier and primary attributes. Okay, that's a terminology familiar to me. Step 3, determine secondary attributes. I think that might be an and might be a typo. Oh, no, I'm just not reading well. Determination and secondary attributes. Step 4, character background. Step 5, archetype and professions list. Step 6, physical appearance. Step 7, personality. I might zoom in on this so you guys, I don't know if I can zoom on this. I don't know if it's going to let me. My keyboard. Zoom 110. Zoom. There we go. 7, personality traits and conflict. And then step 8, ratify your character. So 8 steps. Let's get into it. I just have a blank piece of paper right here with me right now, so I can kind of like start maybe making like a drawn out diagram for what this character sheet might look like. And I'm going to start doing the vertical one to begin with, because that's just my preference. Step 1, starting allegiance. Whenever you create characters in Flames of Freedom, you're forming a party, a group of characters bound by fidelity to take part in the rebellion against the British Empire. Okay. Rebels, loyalists, influence points. This is time for action. As your story begins, characters will have built up a measure of fame or infamy through influence points. Spend them to ask for favors, request resources, flex your reputation and gain services. When you first create a character in the basic tier, you begin play with 3 influence points. Okay. With the rebels. Okay. So in my head, I'm seeing since this is literally the first thing that I'm being told, step 1, to me, hierarchy-wise, it's telling me, okay, that should be at the top of the page. So I'm seeing this like the corruption thing in Designhander. So you have the thing up top, and then there's one thing here. So you have rebels and loyalists on one side, and then you'll have 3 to start with towards the rebels and 1 with the loyalists. They're limited currency, only player characters gain, difficult to earn, but incredibly valuable. We'll talk more about how influence points works in Article 6. Okay, so that's nice. I know what I start with as a player, 3 for rebels, 1 for loyalists. But for me as a character sheet designer, I'm going to have to look up and see potentially what the max amount could possibly be. Because is it going to be a like thing where I can fill in dots, or is it just literally just 2 badges where I put, or 2 boxes that I put numbers in, or is there some like balance happening? So I'll make a note for that. Am I going to have to do some sort of thing like in the Designhander character sheet where there is a sort of 1, 2, 3 this way, negative 1, 2, 3 that way. So pin it. But to me, that means this thing is important. This is something that the players will be using a lot, or should be remembered, and it's the first step, so it's going to go at the top. So then the basic tier and primary attributes, you know what your party's bond is. It's time to create. So where do we talk about bond? Is that important? Is that just a narrative thing? Is that something that we need to have on the character sheet? Don't know. Now that I know what your party's bond is that the influence allegiance? Is allegiance bond allegiance? Pin it. Get to it when we need it. It's time to create your player character. We'll start with how baseline scores affect your character's mechanics and level of power at the start of gameplay. Basic tier. Tier is a measurement of mechanical competence. Okay. This is something I'm familiar with. The primary attributes, set of 7 and 8 scores represent an interesting mix of strengths and flaws. Got it. You roll 3d10 and add each face value to 25 to generate a total percentage result. Okay. Got it. Understand that. And then the attribute bonuses. Got it. This is Designhander stuff, so I understand what this is. Calculate your primary attribute bonuses now on your character sheet. Okay. Determine secondary attribute. I keep saying determine, and my mind just is like determine and doesn't sound right. No, it's determination and secondary attributes. That's an Amber problem. I cannot read. Secondary attributes hone in on combat statistics affecting your survivability. Okay. Determination. Okay. Mechanic called determination. Okay, you begin with 2 determination. So determination is another thing, is like, is it just a box that I label determination? I'm writing this down, and you start with 2. Okay. Sacrificing and gaining determination. Spending coin allows you to edit a situation. Determination allows you to take complete narrative control of a scene. Aha. By sacrificing a determination permanently from your character sheet, you could avoid suffering an injury. Okay, cool. Interesting. Damage thresholds. That's something I'm familiar with. You got that chart that shows you. Okay, cool. Peril thresholds. Got it. Encumbrance is something else I'm aware of. Initiative as well. Movement. That's all standard. And so it's all here from previous experience. Let's see. Character background. Yay, charts. Get a roll to see my age. You get to pick. You get to pick a culture. Okay. Cool. Oh no, you do get to roll. Okay, awesome. I like where they have a call out box about, this isn't part of the character sheet design, but I appreciate that, playing cultures other than your own, side box. And then cool. So this is like the Mad Lib portion, I'm assuming, but we want that at the top. So even though this is, step 4, your character background, I still think this is good to have at the top, as long as it's like all together and like, you know, ages with it's all together with itself. I don't think splitting, like if it was age here, culture here, something else there, that would be a problem. But since this is all blocked together, I don't think it needs to necessarily have to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in order on the page, as long as that information is not disjointed within its block. So this is the Mad Lib section. Oops, scrolling through. Step 5, archetype and professions list. Good. Okay. Wow, character creation. So much stuff. I want to get to step 6, which I could probably just like do this, can't I? No, yes, I can. Ha 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 ha. Oh, thank you for a table of contents. Step 6, physical appearance. I think that's still in the Mad Libs. Personality traits and conflict would probably be in the Mad Libs. Step 8, ratify your character. By now you've learned that randomly generated characters break down traditional stereotypes you may have about the period. Okay, so this is character name. So name your character. Final prep. Before gameplay begins, flip the articles ahead to fill in these final details on your character sheet. Oops, excuse me. On your character sheet. Probably sounded not right. Find your profession in Article 3. Okay. All right. I think I'm just gonna get right into it. Like I said, this might be a shorter, a very short season, just because like all of those heads up. So I did the character pre-gen characters this time in InDesign, which is not my normal go-to, but I was doing the whole layout, and I didn't want to take time to go into Illustrator, make it, and then link it. And so I just did it all here. And I think what we can do with this is start pulling it to pieces. If my computer will let me, let me pull it to pieces. So I'm gonna start pulling it to pieces now. First off, we don't need page numbers. I'm just gonna lock this. I'm not gonna worry about the design yet. This is what we have. So, so what we know so far is that, let's go back to my list. Creating your character. Starting allegiance and influence points, basic tier and primary attributes, then the Mad Lib. So the Mad Lib is going to go here. And I'm not going to make a big black background because I want to spare people's printers. But that can be talked about. So there's that. Basic tier and primary attributes is something that we said. So I'm going to say this is probably going to take up this amount of space right now. Then we have the primary attributes, and we don't even have the bonus here. So I'll need to make a bonus. Whoop, ungroup. Welcome back, everybody, to the group and ungroup section of Designhander, where I group and ungroup constantly. So I'm going to bring this here, much like I believe we did it in the first in the Designhander redesign show. I think we had it like this. I'll have to look. So primary determination and secondary attributes. Yes, I am using Adobe InDesign. Normally, I don't use Adobe InDesign to do character sheets. Usually, I like Illustrator because I have more control over like shapes and things. But I did the pre-gens in InDesign, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing it in InDesign. That was just how it turned out. So the secondary attributes are determination, damage, peril, encumbrance, initiative, movement. So that's all this right here. And I already have determination. Oh, and I did have determination here as already. Hey, look at me. And I had it as a box. We don't need this name. So pulling that over. Ooh, lost a object. Okay, group. Okay, and so that's, so we've got overage. What is overage? That's interesting. For every point beyond your encumbrance limit, you suffer overage, an ongoing cumulative -1 to distances with ranged weapons, initiative, and movement. Should your overage reduce distance, initiative, or movement to 0, you must drop enough wares and weapons in order to bring the value back to at least 1. So I need to have some sort of, oh, I didn't have encumbrance on this. Oh, it's because it was pre-gen and it probably wasn't necessary for the Mahuzit, the whatchamacallit, the one-shot adventure. Let's pull this off to the side because I probably won't need it for a while. So I need something for encumbrance. I need encumbrance and I need overage. So people know to, if I did not have a box for overage, I would forget to constantly be taking a -1. So I think it might be important to have an overage box, but tied to the encumbrance. Determination, initiative, movement, we'll say encumbrance. So I don't forget what this is. Zoom in. Hope you guys enjoy. Shoot, my mind just like completely spaced out there. I hope you like sound effects, because when I do design work, I make noises for all the clicks and the zooming ins. Boop, boop. Let me type in here, please. I would like to word this. Is it not a word box? What has happened? What has happened to my text? No, you're not a text box. What happened? All right, fine. Be that way. I'll make a new text. It's too big. I think this is Dominican. Yay, sounds. You gotta make sounds. Regular. 12. Move. Okay, it looks like that font was a little bit smaller, so 10 point is probably what I went for. I don't know why the text is different. What has happened? Did my Adobe software update without my knowing and messed up my font, or was I purely lazy? What? That was weird. Where'd my... I feel like I talk to Adobe InDesign and all my programs every day. What is your problem? Why do you dislike me so? Give me caps. Encumbrance is what I want. Watch me spell it wrong. We'll just copy and paste so I don't have to spell it. Why? This is why I usually don't let anybody watch me do design work. So you don't see all the flailing. Overage. I guess all of these are probably not. Huh. Interesting. All right, well, I'll make new boxes for all of you. While we're here, we might as well. Determination. It is part of the journey. All the little frustrating quirks of programs. Initiative. Movement. Oh, what am I doing? This is what I want. All right, we got words. We got words. Oh, I set this up differently. I was trying to change my way of doing things. And now I've messed myself up because I moved my boxes. We'll worry about aligning later. So that's that. That's secondary. We've got damage thresholds, peril thresholds. Done. Determination we got. Okay, interesting. So right now I'm contemplating this, but I think not. We will think about that later. So we've got 1, 2. So the one thing we're missing is the combat bonuses, because Hello. Um, combat bonuses. All of the attribute bonuses. So there's supposed to be another little box here that tells you what your CB, BB, AB, PB, IB, WBA, and FBA should be. Which I'm going to make squares. So let us do this. Let us just pull this over a little bit. Boop, bop, 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 bop. We're also going to get rid of these plus 10s because that was part of the pre-gen characters. What I need to do is I think I need to put some sort of circular fill-in part here so that you may put in how many ranks you have in a skill. And I also need to take away this boldness, which I think I want to have it be all of this body copy, no bold. So I've got my style list over here. Body copy, no indent, please. No, why have you forsaken me? Styles. Fine, I'll just do regular. This will be easier than me try to apply style right now. I must have modified it in some way. Okay. Boop, boop. Bring you over. Mad Libs. Okay. Boxes for numbers. Those are what we need. Shall these boxes be this big? I should also probably... I'm going to leave... I'm trying to think with my big brain here. Leave these text boxes in these things so that way I think if I make a Adobe fillable digital fillable PDF, it'll recognize these boxes and I won't have to make boxes. So I need this to be CBBBBB. Look at, I know what I did. I know why these aren't editable text. I pulled it from the Adobe Illustrator character sheet that I did. That's fine. That's totally fine. Not really. I mean, it is. It just... At least we're kind of like stuck on the font. The font has been locked into choice. We are using this font. So... So since we're locked into the font, and I won't have to change the font... Whoa, sorry. This is scrolling out of control here. That's not... Give me this Pantone. Thank you. Now, does it need to be this big? I'm not sure. Probably not. We will come back to it in the future when we get more information about what else needs to go on these sheets as I go through it. We're just going to get them in here because we know we have to have a box for the bonuses, the attributes. And so... And we're going to end up needing some sort of circle thing going on over here to mark stuff. So I'm going to have a feeling that this Mad Lib is going to become much larger, or this area is going to become much larger to make the dots a thing, a reality. So I'm going to have to give more space for now. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back to our Word document. We got all of this. So now we get into the character creation, or the character background, which has, we'll do name, and it looks like this will be age. Let's get in here. Age, culture, and age, culture, language, age, culture, other cultures, identity. Okay. So I need to have gender identity. Okay. Okay. Archetype and professions list. So then it's I am a age, culture, identity, and had made my life as a archetype, okay. So archetype, and then profession. Okay, cool. So the first line is the name, then the next is the background, then the next is the archetype. Oh, screen went out of focus. What? Oh, oops. I see, because my head is covering up. So the bricks of the Mad Lib seem to be the character background, which is age, culture, identity. Then you have the archetype and professions part of the Mad Lib. And then you'll have, I believe it's your physical appearance is the next part of the Mad Lib. Nice. I like these groupings. And then you have your personality traits as part of the next part of the Mad Lib. So 4 parts to the Mad Lib. Okay. So I think we also have to put up here something that is the influence points, right? Because that was a thing that was number 1. And that was like rebels, and I think we could do this. We could probably do something like this. Okay, so that's the influence points, and then the rest of this becomes the Mad Lib. Cool. Then let's see. So we'll say this is influence points. And this is the rebels. And this is the loyalist. Oh boy. And then this is the Mad Libs section, which I think we should have enough room for everything. Okay. And then we've got the secondary stuff over here. Let me see something here. Was that all? Is that all? That's really interesting. Is there... Let's look. We're going to need a spot for, obviously, your weapons and all of that stuff. But there is magic as well. So there is a mage class, and there is this stuff. So you have to have a place to put your you'll have to have a place to put your magic, and you'll have to have a place to put your weapons and your wares and your combat stuff. So let me see what I have out here to the side. I had this weapons. So I need to make a chart for weapons, and I need to figure out something for trappings. I was asked to see if I could keep the main character sheet to 2 pages. I think it's possible with everything that I'm seeing. I just need to have a place to put talents or not, traits and stuff. So let's look. I should have brought up my the other character sheet. I'm going to switch my screen real quick so you don't have to see me mess around in all my files. So just 1 second. It's just me right now. Please don't, well, I don't want you to see my horrible filing. Look up Designhander. Oh, I brought up my the book. Designhander final vertical character sheet. Yeah, nope, you're not gonna see my 11111s or V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7. Or what is this? Or what? Or all that stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, back to sharing screen. All right, so I brought up the Designhander character sheet. So it's looking similar so far. So yeah, I need to put the three circles. I also need to figure out if I need to put this stuff in there. Interesting. Thank you. Because what I'm seeing right now in the character sheet creation is I was just doing the base overview, but I haven't gotten into the nitty gritty yet. And I think it's about time for me to get into the nitty gritty because this is super important. For the overall sheet design, right? So I almost want to copy this and just put it in here until I know better. So let's do this. As I'm processing all this information that's coming into me, let's work on the Mad Libs because we know that we have that. Let's work on getting the dots in the special skill rank because we know that has to happen. My only worry is, of course, am I going to design myself into a corner doing this? I'm going to have to redesign lots of stuff. Usually I like to get all of the information that I need to have first. I've been a little bit behind on some things lately. Just I've got a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't really put a lot of time looking into everything for this right now. But I mean, since it's based off of Designhander, this game is powered by Designhander, I feel like if I do the Mad Libs and the attribute stuff, that's not really going to change. What is mostly I'm worried about is what's over here and how to put in, you know, where you put your traits at, where you put your weapons, the actual filled in parts. Like, for instance, we can see in this pre-gen character, they had a bayonet, and here's all the information that would go into a slot, and of course a place for trappings. I don't think we would have to have this on the this here at all, because that's something they could put into their chart. So I'm gonna delete that. So now we know we've got more space. Okay, so let's do the Mad Libs. Let's just go ahead and focus on getting that done, because that is something that we know we need. So if I am gonna do this, boop, boop, every line of boop, boop. Let's just make a bunch of lines. That's a line. That's a lot of lines. We don't know how many we'll need yet. Let's make them longer. Let's align them to selection. Spread out. They probably need to be spread out more. Let's look at our original character sheet. Yeah, you know what? Are you're ha ha. Grab it. We'll use it as a reference. We won't need this. We need this. What was my... Oh, yeah, I had that spaced out real a lot. It's probably because sloppy handwriting is a thing. I know I have it when I'm writing fast. Where'd you go? Align to selection. That's better. Maybe more. More space, more space. Not key object, I want selection. Select. Thank you. Okay. We've got a full name and pronouns. We'll just stick it here for now. We want to say age. %. That is exactly what happened to the other text I was using earlier. I brought it in from Illustrator and it didn't keep the editable. Oh boy. It did not maintain the ability to edit. Oh boy. I do not want that to be 1. I want this to be H5. Yeah, H5. We'll do 10 point. Looks like this was actually 8 point. Interesting. Age. Oh, probably all caps. Age. Age. Why? Thank you. Age. No text wrap. What's going on? Thank you. Age. We have age and culture. And we have also identity. Shouldn't it go, I am a young blank? Okay, no, that's right. That's right. That's fine. Okay, we got that. And then the next is archetype. archetype. I would like to... Part of this is when I get this all done, I'll actually make... I'll actually print this out and actually make a character sheet. So I got a question of how do you decide what fonts to use? They tell you which to use. So yes, Designhander has a brand identity already, and this was the font that they used. Dominican, I believe, is the font. Yes. And then their secondary font is one called Adobe. I don't know if it's on here. Should have been. I think it's Adobe Caslon Pro. So those were their two already in use fonts they used in Designhander, and so to keep the like connection between the games, they wanted me to use the same fonts. Usually for other things I've done, for my own personal stuff, I always pick stuff that's super. Oh yeah, here's the other font they had. Yeah, it's Adobe Caslon Pro. But yeah, for me, I pick usually fonts that are highly readable, easy to see when you scan through, which I think these are fine. So we've got that. Let's look at the Google Doc again. Archetype profession. 5, 6, 7. Oh, 6 is physical appearance. So stature, build, style. I gotta bring this up somewhere so I can see it for myself. Let's do this. Stature, build, and style. Style. And then eyes, hair, whoa, eyes, hair, mark. And personality. So belief. Flaw. Conflict tractor. Whoa. There is a... I found it in the nitty-gritty. What is this? Conflict and conflict tracker. Characters will make morally ambiguous choices, be put in situations where there's no clear right or wrong answer. Based on your choices and the outcome, the story will give you a certain number of conflict. Looking at the character sheet, you'll see conflicts sits right in the middle of both your belief and flaw. This is the conflict tracker. And is the tool you'll use to track whether your character is pulled towards their belief or flaw by the end of a game session. Aha, I found it! The tracker. I thought that was going to be the Rebels Loyalist influence points, but no, I found it. The conflict tracker. Gaining conflict. The exact number of points of conflict on your character gains during a game. Blah, 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 blah. Let me reread that. I'm getting distracted. I'm too excited. Gaining conflict. The exact number of points of conflict your character gains during a game session is determined by the historian. Depending on the severity of the situation, your character will gain anywhere between 1 to 9 conflict. Okay. As with influence points, only player characters gain conflict and benefit from determination. Cool, 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 cool. 10 belief ranks, you gain 1 determination. 10 flaw ranks, you gain a permanent affliction. Interesting. Whoa. Okay, so okay, cool. So there is a tracker. So I had that up here across the whole top. It's in Designhander, it was the chaos and alignment tracker. So this is the same thing. So I need to make this, copy and paste it into here, which means, yes, I'm going to have to make some changes. Interesting. So I'm going to have to put this up here. Does it fit? No, it doesn't. Not with the current sheet. Okay, so. Aha, I'm glad I didn't do a ton of stuff yet, because I found this. We want this up here. And we need to rename these. Ungroup. You are conflict. Oh, look at all those numbers got really messed up. Oh, well. I'll have to redo it anyway. Conflict. Belief. Oh, belief. I probably spelled that wrong too. Belief and flaw. Interesting. And then we have you gain 1 determination, which is over here. So now I'm wondering if it should go over here. So this needs to change to +1 determination. Okay, +1 determination, and then this is +1 affliction. Interestingly, you can also get a permanent. You could have 10 permanent flaw ranks. If you ever have 10 permanent flaw ranks, you must retire your player character as an NPC. Left behind our +1 affliction. Boy, another reason why I don't want anybody watching me work, because I can't spell to save my life. Affliction. Align together. Why are these numbers so messed up? We will worry about the numbers there. So I'm glad I was doing the character Mad Lib, because I did not see that. It was under personality trait. Interesting. Okay, got it. I'll probably make these circles bigger because they're kind of pretty tiny right now. Cool. So now that determination is there, I'm kind of want to put determination over here because they are related to each other. Okay. Determination. We're going to pull these. So now I got to figure out these, the spacing of these a bit. Sorry, I don't mean to make people dizzy as I drag everything around. I'm an active thinker. I must see things move in order to think about what I'm going to do. Okay. So, belief flaw, we got the conflict tracker up top that is similar to the Designhander chaos and order. And we're going to have the determination up there. I think the influence points as well. Because that's stuff that you spend or you keep track of that is narrative. We got the primary attributes. I've got to put the circles there. I've got to do the Mad Libs a little bit better. I think that is... Let's look at the other Designhander character sheet. Okay. Nope. Then we have to figure out the combat profile. So... I think what's going to happen, I'm going to wrap this up now because we're close to the time. And I think I'm at the point where I need to dig into the combat profile a little bit and see what needs to be done as far as listing out weapons and armor, and that sort of thing. And then I also need to look into magic a little bit because magic in Designhander, I made it its own sheet. So we are going to take some time to, and by we, I mean I am going to take some time to look that stuff up and make a plan for next time. I think this was a good first hour or so, getting this all figured out. The border around this character sheet is kind of concerning me right now. There's some valuable space I could have if I change it. I might get rid of this decorative thing around here because it's not really... It's taking up more space than adding to the overall thing. I think there's a better way I could keep the layout of the previous, or I can keep an aesthetic look to it that keeps it cohesive with Flames of Freedom layout without taking up so much space. Because as we're going to be going, I think we're going to see that we're running out of space to push things. So I will look into that too. Let's just go ahead and delete it. Let's see. Unlock all and spread. Delete. Because if we look at my margins, like I can now bring this up. And I would have space down below. I might take some elements from the layout of the book and add it to here to make it cohesive and looks like it belongs together. But I don't think that border is going to work for this character sheet. It just takes up too much space, and we need as much space as we can. So that's it for today. I'm gonna go to just me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to see the first season of Designhander, I believe it is up on the Designhander YouTube channel. I think there is a bot where I can do this and it might say my name. Yes. So you can find me on Twitter at RocketOrca, and you can find all of my work, my portfolio, and all the things that I do at rocketorca.com. Thanks again for coming out, and I will see you next Wednesday to figure out this mess we got going on right now. All right. Thank you, everybody, and bye.